What is going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in again for another episode that we have here of getting this motor right here into that engine bay. In the last video I went over all the little things that you need to address before trying to put this motor in there. I did have to go to the parts store, or excuse me, the hardware store to get some bolts. So hopefully the ones I got will work okay. I just went on ahead and got these guys right here. These little bolts right here. These will be for the side mount, this mount right here. And then I also had to deal with the rear T-bracket there in the back, to which I got this bolt right here and some washers that I hope will work. Really, I think this bolt's going to be too long, but I don't know. We're going to see if it works or not. Worst case scenario, I don't run the lower bolt. I will have the upper two extra bolts in there, so I will have this bolt that goes in for sure, and this bolt up here on the top. Now, I know guys have done that before and not had any problems at all. So we'll see when I get there. Hopefully it will work out all right. I went on ahead and put the alternator on, and I actually have it tucked up as close to the motor as I can. Obviously there's a lot of play in here. This thing can swing all the way out, but I want it to be as close as possible to there, so that way I can see if it'll clear, because I really would not want to dent my frame rail in if I don't have to. I'm going to try to not do that, but if I have to, I have to. It's no big deal. But I am going to stick this in there first to see what the clearance is looking like. I went on ahead and took the power steering pump off and just set it in the trunk for now, and then I went on ahead and got that cable to hydro conversion on, which fit perfectly, by the way. And you can see when I pull up on the clutch, it'll activate that thing there. I know I'm gonna have to adjust this and whatnot. I'm just leaving it loose for now. I can adjust it when it's in the car afterwards. I got the back bracket on there. I got this side mount on. It's just in there, it's not tight, so I can, you know, maneuver it if I need to maneuver it. It's in there. And then the only other mount I have in the car is the transmission mount, and I'll put that on after the motor is in there. Well, straight away it looks like I'm gonna have to take off this bracketry here because it's hitting that front mount, and honestly I hope it doesn't interfere with that mount when I have it in the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pull off these brackets and see if I can gain a little bit more room. Should be okay on everything else, I hope. Man, I had to wrestle that guy in there, but I mean, it's in there for now. But like I said, I was just test fitting this to make sure that it's going to fit with the alternator. And as you can see, I don't even have the motor completely positioned where it needs to be, but you can see that the alternator down there is very close to the frame rail there. I mean, you couldn't even get a belt on there, it's that close. So you can use a DA alternator and DA brackets. They're a little bit smaller, but I'm just working with what I got here. So honestly, I'm probably just going to have to mark somewhere on the frame there where I need to hit that in at, and just hit it in slightly. Custom-made power steering line is here. This should actually work beautifully right where it needs to go. Unfortunately, that front bracket down there for the mount, I'm gonna have to hit that too, or cut it off, or do something with it. So I was hoping I wouldn't have to touch it, but it's really gonna get in the way of the brackets for the cable to hydro guy, which I took off over here on the ground. Yeah, it's just not gonna fit, but everything else fits good. I just have everything kind of loosely in there. Back bracket is not all the way on, but I do have one bolt in there, and then the bolt in the back. That's probably the hardest mount to deal with, but yeah, you can see everything is mostly in there now, where it's supposed to go. It's a really tight squeeze in these engine bays, but it'll work. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to pull this thing back out so I can deal with this here front bracket. So unfortunately, all what I just did, I'm gonna have to undo, but I'll just get right back to you guys when I got it out, and I'll decide what I'm going to do with the front bracket here, if I'm gonna just cut it off, or if I am gonna be able to just bang it flat, I guess, out of the way, which would look horrible, but I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Everything is not enough. Really out by the ocean.
Alright, well, you saw me just beat the crap out of this mount here. I heated it up, tried to get it to lay down as flat as I could. I was going to try and drill out the spot welds, but I think some of the spot welds are actually inside, and I don't know if I can get to them, so this was the next best option. And also, you can see I hit that frame rail a little bit over there. I would love to go through and you know, clean out this engine bay, take everything apart, spray it off. That's just the type of person that I would be, but for this car, like, I'm just gonna let everything ride. So it's kind of just gonna be is what it is at this point. Gonna leave everything now. I mean, obviously I can pull the motor back out, paint everything, do everything nicely, but I mean, have you seen the outside of this car? So the inside is gonna match. But yeah, so hopefully I have enough room now for that bracket, and everything should clear. So I'll go ahead and just try and lower the motor back in there. Okay, here it is. Like I said, I beat in the alternator a little bit closer there by the frame rail. Got a little bit extra clearance. I know it's kind of hard to see it back there, but definitely got more room than I had. At least enough room to slip a belt in there, I believe. So should be good. Pretty close, but should be good. And also you can see I beat that front bracket pretty much all the way down, so I should have plenty of room to get that cable hydro bracketry in there. The only other thing I might have to clearance is the front cross member for this header. I don't have the lower part of it on, actually, because I don't even have a header. I had to find one, but I may have to hit the very bottom of the cross member to get it to clear, but I'm hoping I don't have to do that. But I either will bang it in, or maybe I'll just cut a notch into it and it should be good. But overall, pretty happy with these mounts. The bolts I got working just good, just fine. This power steering line will work fine. I just gotta have to pretty much go through and reconnect stuff as I go around. This side's looking good. Transmission mounts in solid, and the rear T-bracket is also in there. Yeah, so far everything went in fairly easily. I mean, these are probably the hardest cars to put B series into. K series and stuff is a different story, but these are probably the hardest ones to put a B series into. But aside from that, I mean, everything is going well so far. So all right, so that'll probably do it for this this video, guys. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll probably see you guys very soon. Peace.